Hello. This is your host, C. Jackson Paul, live from the Eternal Gems studio. Welcome to 18 Entrepreneurs Crash Course at Life, where we learn the tools that will let you build the life that you deserve. You have big dreams in life, otherwise you wouldn't be here watching this video. And, while it doesn't seem like it now, you can accomplish them. All you have to do is have a vision for the future, and work very hard to achieve it. But, when working towards your dreams, it can be helpful to analyze the lives of those who came before you, to see where they succeeded and where they failed. That is why we have decided to start a mini-series covering the lives of various people who, in some way or another, shaped the world. Not all of the people we will talk about are successful entrepreneurs, but all of them are people who had big dreams, and the ambition to try and realize them. None of these people are perfect, but their lives contain lessons, both positive and negative, that are very important for the aspiring entrepreneur to learn. The first person we will talk about is Steve Jobs. Across Jobs' life, there are two major themes that should be noticed: his love for what he did, and his insatiable will to succeed. In most respects, Jobs was your typical teenager, albeit a bit nerdy, but there was one thing that stood out about him: he loved computers. He wasn't just a mere hobbyist. His desire to learn more about computers seemed to consume him. He would spend hours reading about, and playing around with, any technology he could get his hands on. All this time spent on his passion, however, meant he didn't have time for much else. For instance, when he arrived at college, he didn't even say goodbye to his parents before heading off. He eventually dropped out of college and got a job doing what he loved at a company called Atari. He then met a man named Steve Wozniak who shared his passion for computers. Eventually, they founded their own company, Apple, which they hoped would bring computers to the masses. Many said that what they were doing was impossible, but, all through his decades at Apple, Jobs would refuse to hear the word impossible. But already, theirs wasn't an equal partnership. For instance, Atari promised a major bonus for making a game meet a certain standard of efficiency. Wozniak pulled several all-nighters to get it done, only for Jobs to pocket the credit, and the entire bonus. As Apple grew, Jobs had even less respect for others than he had originally had. He forced Wozniak out of the company after an injury forced him to take time off. He was abrasive and rude to whoever happened to be around, from ranting at Whole Foods employees for no particular reason, to launching into an expletive-filled rant at his assistant after his five-star hotel wasn't quite to his liking, to denying an employee stock options in the company just because he disliked him. This, of course, made him a lot of enemies in the company, who banded together to force him out. But Jobs still had two things: his love for what he did, and his drive to succeed. He also had a lot of money now. Because of this, he would go on to found several successful companies, including Pixar and Next. Here, his uncompromising attitude remained. Once, he summarily fired a quarter of his developers because he felt they were losers. But his refusal to settle for anything but the best from his employees, and to ruthlessly eliminate those whose best wasn't up to his standard, did appear to be spurring the exponential growth of Pixar and Next. Both companies were taking off like rockets. The same, alas, could not be said for Apple. Soon after Jobs had left, it had begun to enter a slow decline until, by the mid-1990s, it became desperate enough to ask Jobs to come back. Some at the company wanted Apple to just retreat and become a software-only company, but Jobs wasn't having that. He pushed for the development of the new technologies that would soon become iPods and iPhones. When people failed, he would fire them, or sometimes their entire teams. While his brutal style attracted no love from his employees, he did manage to bring Apple back from the brink. But, alas, having a strong will can be a liability as well as an asset, and Jobs' strong will would be the death of him. When he was diagnosed with cancer, rather than listen to his family and his doctors and get treatment, Jobs turned to alternative medicine, which focused on fighting the cancer with the power of his mind. By the time he realized this wasn't going to work, it was too late, and the cancer killed him in 2011. So, was it worth it? Did Jobs' success make up for the trail of bodies it left behind him, from Wozniak to his employees to his family, from whom he was so disconnected that, shortly before his death, he told his biographer he wanted a biography so that my children could know what kind of man their father was? Was Steve's willingness to sacrifice everything, from time to friends to family to, eventually, his own life, on the altar of achieving his dreams and making the world a better place, something you want for yourself? I can show you the trade-offs, but only you can decide for yourself. There are plenty of hobbyists who have as deep a passion for computers as Jobs did, and there are plenty of would-be dictators who have his unbending will. What made Jobs so effective, and so unique, was that he had both of those things. And that is what allowed him to change the world. Everyone has dreams in life, and we at Eternal Gems want to help you live up to your full potential. Check out our website and social media, linked below in the description, leave your thoughts down in the comments, and stay tuned for more videos.